One day more. Another day, another destiny. This never-ending road to Calvary. These men who seem to know my crime will surely come a second time. One day more. I did not live until today. Well, thanks for interrupting. How can I live when we are parted? One day more. Tomorrow you'll be worlds away. And yet, with you, my work has started. One more day out on my own. Will we ever meet again? One more day with him not caring. I was born to be with you. What a life I might have known. And I swear I will be true. But he never saw me there. Nosette, I love you. I love you too, Arius. One more day before the storm. Do I follow where she goes? At these barricades of freedom, shall I join my brothers there? When our ranks begin to fall, do I stay and do I dare? Will you take your place with me? The time is now, the day is here. One day more. One more day to revolution. We will nip it in the bud. I'll be ready for these schoolboys. They will wet themselves with blood. Watch them run amok. Catch them as they fall. Never know your luck when there's a free-for-all. Here a little dip, wham. There a little touch, wham. Most of them are goners, so they won't miss much. One day to a new beginning. Raise the flag of freedom high. Every man will be a king. For the winning, there's a new world to be won. Do you hear the people sing? My place is here. I fight with you. One day more. I will not live until tomorrow. One more day all on my own. I will learn our little secrets. I will know that one day more. Tomorrow you'll be right about the ocean. Never know your luck when there's a free-for-all. And yet with you my world has started. Tomorrow is the judgment day. Tomorrow we'll discover what our God in heaven has in store. One more dawn, one more day, one day more.
Hello. Thank you. That was Bit Infinity, Matthew Toronto, and their rendition of One Day More, except Waluigi is every part. Very, I think topical, right? To bring Les Mis on this day, especially with what's been happening lately in the news. We'll get into some Disney news, of course. Hello, Lance. Good evening. How are you doing, my dear? Yeah, that's what we're doing. It's all just too bright. I can't even turn. Not bad. Good. I am also doing good. I can't, but of course, I can't, play any more of the March Caprice concert soirees because we have done every single song for our intros over the last 6 months, and that's kind of sad. Work is going okay. Thank you so much for checking in. I cried a little bit to my boss, and I do not actually have to go in this week. She is going to make a special exception for me, and it's going to be more of like a one-on-one kind of deal so that I don't have to sit in a room full of 7 people beaming COVID directly into my face. As she should. Thank you. Quite honestly, it was a big ask of her to do. So, then, right, training, watching other, like, sitting around for other people to, like, learn the new training and for it to take, like, 5 hours. And, of course, they're just going to be, like, dilly farting around, just being like, oh, how's everybody's day going, and da-da-da-da. So, like, for it to be just me doing the training, that means it's going to take so much shorter. And it'll be just me, my boss, and then the IT person. And then that'll only be for, like, an hour or something, right? And that's totally doable. Because then it all depends on me and how fast I pick up, like, the new training. And that's no big deal at all. So, whew. Whew. Good, I'm glad you deserve that. Thank you. I worked it up to be a lot bigger in my head, and then I called her, and she was like, oh, yeah, that's fine, It's always one of those things, right, that you think this is the biggest, most horrendous travesty ever in the history of the world. And then, you just make one call, and then it's all better now. You know what I mean? So that should be the lesson for everybody. Just have open communication with what is making you uncomfortable, and then things will be resolved, like, quite easily. You know what I mean? Well, and speaking of that, you know what? Speaking of, once you're uncomfortable with something, and you make your opinion known about that, some things tend to happen, and they tend to happen for the best. You know what I mean? So, obviously, in response to fuck around and find out is right, I actually don't need my these in for I don't know why I put my earbuds in. Anyway, so as you might have known from last week's coverage, I do Disney news now. So from last week's coverage, Jimmothy Kimmelson, he got kicked off of the air because he insinuated that the Charlie Kirk assassin was MAGA. The investigation is still going on, and he is also still not cooperating with the police or the FBI, because it's a high-profile shooting, and it is their case now. So his affiliation is still up in the air, and as with so many shooters anyway, a lot of them don't even really have political leanings. The shooting in and of itself is their political meaning. It is both the message and the medium, you know what I mean? We're just a very violent country. And that's kind of the long and short of it. Every single group, every single demographic has had representation as mass shooters or even targeted shooters. So there's really nothing that you can't pin that on just one person. But if there's one group that you can usually pin it on, it usually is right-wing people. As the FBI director, Kash Patel, just deleted off of the Department of Homeland Security website, there was a study that was conducted very recently that found that 88% of all shooters have right-wing, actually, in fact, extreme right-wing leanings. So it kind of is just a good bet whenever there is a mass shooter to put your money on red if you're a gambling person, you know what I mean? But so that investigation is still up in the air. Jimmy Kimmel had the most milquetoast kind of commentary on, like, whether or not that shooter was a right-wing guy. Again, we're still investigating on that, but even if it doesn't, like, a shooting in and of itself is kind of a right-wing advocacy anyway. Most people who are right-wing are the people who have the guns, so. But regardless of whatever ends up being his motivation, Jimmy Kimmel should not have been taken off the air for what he said about who that shooter is. And because so many people agree with that, the Walt Disney Company kind of fucked around and found out over this last week. Here is their, what is this even called? Their Dow Jones, their stonks. Line going down. Ooh, look at all that red. Ooh, buddy. Oh, boy. Ooh, buddy. And oh, boy. And, of course, last night, Jimmy Kimmel did return, so it's looking to track upwards again. But the point that I really want to make here is, or actually, let me continue on. That's awful bright, isn't it? But so I'm a glowworm right now, and sorry about all the ads. Here is Forbes, 5 times Disney lost battles with its biggest stars in the past 5 years by Caroline Reed. And of course it tops off with Jimmy Kimmel and what they lost over the last week. And according to Forbes, this downward trend in stocks, everybody canceling their Disney Plus subscription. Sorry, I just flashbanged myself. She doesn't conclude, but in this section, she concludes, it showed how seriously the matter is, as Eisner is a famously close, right, even Big Daddy Eisner came out and read them to filth, mama. Ooh, he read them to filth, mama. You better work. But that showed how seriously the matter is, as Eisner is famously close to Disney's. Wait a minute, sorry. It showed how seriously the matter is, as Eisner is a famously close to Disney's current boss. I don't think that A should be there, but anyway, my English teacher, I guess, is famously close to Disney's current boss, Bob Iger. Eisner is also one of the company's biggest stockholders, and its price has taken a hit since the scandal erupted. It is currently down around 3.7% from its high on Wednesday, and at market capitalization of $202.5 billion. That represents a loss over the last week for Disney of about $7.4 billion in stockholder value. I just want you all to understand and recognize that you did that. You did that, but mama, you did that. Ooh, you did that. You ate down, girl. And then Mark Ruffalo, who has been fairly good and outspoken, continues on. It's going to go down a lot further if they cancel his show. Disney does not want to be the ones that broke America, said another Marvel actor, Mark Ruffalo, on Threads. The scandal has already cost Disney so dearly today, it had to make a U-turn around and announce the show will return on Tuesday. It makes it the 5th time in as many years that the mouse has had to capitulate to pressure from its biggest stars. Very true. So that was a total loss of $7.4 billion, only in stock value, right? This isn't really even counting the amount of money that they lost from people who did cancel their subscriptions, right? The money that they're paying there, or the people who chose to not attend the parks or cancel their cruise reservations, right? And as Jimmy Kimmel returns, he returned last night. Good for him. That it's also good to see the numbers here, right? This is his monologue where he does make his return, and it has 16 million views just on YouTube, not counting people who are watching it through cable, even though those represent a very, very small portion of the population nowadays. But like, if you look at his other monologues, they only get like about 2 to 4 million views, right? So it's unbelievably popular to keep Jimmy Kimmel on, well, no, not even really just Jimmy Kimmel. Nobody really cares about Jimmothy Kimmelson. But people care about free speech happening, and they care about, you know, standing up to this administration. A very large part of these 16 million views and that $7.4 billion lost, and this negative trend in stocks and all of the Disney Plus subscriptions canceled, it's because of how many people hate Donald Trump and how many people hate conservative values. It's just, it's not, it hasn't ever, and it never will be popular. And I think a lot of these businesses, especially Disney, who is, the entirety of your fan base is gay, they are woke, you are a gay and a woke company. When will you understand this, Disney? You do not advertise to conservatives, despite the fact that you are, like, in essence, Americana. It should be for all Americans. The very fact of the matter is that MAGA is not for Americans. They don't like our First Amendments. They don't like our rights that we give to everybody equally. This was the stance of our fucking country, and they don't like that. So, like, especially even like back a couple years ago when little Ron DeSantis, like started his own like crusade against the Walt Disney Company. Like you should understand this by now, that like they've completely abandoned you. You have become like one of the culture war sticking issues of being gay and woke, and therefore conservatives don't like you. And that's something that you need to understand. Where is all of your money coming from? Where is all of your money coming from? It's coming from the gays and it's coming from the wokes. Don't fuck with us again. I have the same alert. Yeah, it's Samsung stuff, you know what I mean? But like continually, you do these kinds of things. Here is a CNN Business talking about how Disney Plus is now getting a price hike, just so everybody who canceled their subscription and got what they want, supposedly, they're now like trying to do some sneaky stuff to punish you forever once, canceling your subscription in response to your First Amendment rights being stripped away. This is Liam Riley. Or Lam Riley? My bad. I can't tell if that's a lowercase I or L. Lam, I think. For CNN Business, Disney is hiking the price of its subscription service, and the timing couldn't be more awkward given the controversy surrounding the media giant's handling of Jimmy Kimmel this past week. Starting October 21st, Disney's plan will increase $2 to $11.99, while its ad-free tier will increase $3 to $18.99, punishing the poor. Oh, wait, no. Did that in reverse. Sorry, my bad. Hulu will increase the prices that same day, and the Disney-owned streamers ad tier rising $2 again to $11.99. Elsewhere in the Disney streaming universe, ESPN Select will increase by $1 to $12.99, and several bundles involving Disney Plus will increase in price as well. This is he also goes on to say Disney often implements price hikes in October, right? Typically, and the timing is just kind of bad on this. But, it seems suspiciously conspicuous, suspicious, the exact timing. The company did so for Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN both in 2023 and 2024. A source familiar with the matter confirmed to CNN that customers were notified about the price increases on Tuesday, and that the hikes were part of the company's normal business process. However, like with these price hikes, I think like all signs are pointing towards keep your Disney Plus subscriptions canceled. Let's not do that anymore, especially since Disney Plus, not any other parts of Disney's company, like attending the parks or attending the cruises or buying merchandise. And also, I guess for like watching other Disney movie premieres, have been on the BDS list for about a year now. Disney was put on the BDS list specifically because of Captain America. Brave New World, is that the full title of the movie? The newest one. That's headed by the Sam character. The Sam character. So it's previously the Falcon. This is also unimportant. So Brave New World, because there was a character in this Captain America movie that is called Sabra. She is basically Captain Israel in the Marvel Universe, and she's been plagued with controversy since her inception many years ago. Except what is kind of funny is that, like, the Hulk has multiple panels where he, like, really does kind of, like, let me actually see if I can find it. Hulk, and Sabra. Yeah, Hulk does have like a couple of like famous panels where he does say like oh, what direction do I read this? Is this an American comic? So I go so this is Sabra. She's Captain Israel. Oh, you can't even see my mouse here. Let me hold on. So you can see what I'm looking at here. What I'm referring to. Capture cursor. Okay, there we are. This is Sabra, Captain Israel here. And this is kind of a famous panel. Which direction do I read this in again? So this is a Palestinian boy that gets kind of killed in a conflict between Sabra and the Hulk. Boy died because boy's people and yours both want to own land. Boy died because you wouldn't share. Boy died because of 2 old books that say his people and yours must fight and kill for land. Now boy is dead, but boy didn't even read books. Arg! Hulk came looking for peace, but there is no peace here. For an instant, Sabra prepares to give chase. She is, after all, an Israeli super agent, a soldier, a weapon of war. But she is also a woman capable of feeling, capable of caring. It has taken the Hulk to make her see this dead Arab boy as a human being. It has taken a monster to awaken her own sense of humanity. And this is like a famous couple of panels to show like Palestinian people are children, and for many years Palestinian children have taken the brunt of Israeli violence. And right, so there definitely were ways that they could have implemented the Sabra character to be a meaningful critique of Israel, but especially with these like newer Captain America movies, they were not really interested in doing anything much more than military propaganda, so nobody really had much faith that they were going to portray Sabra in this way. This is also kind of a funny thing to show because Mark Ruffalo, as we quoted earlier in one of these, the Forbes one, Mark Ruffalo is a pro-Palestinian person, a person who is also quite good in his takes. He's kind of cool, chill guy. But with the portrayal of Sabra in Captain America: Brave New World, I'm so sorry if I'm getting the subtitle wrong. That was that movie specifically, and that's release was put on the BDS list. Hopefully, no one saw it in theaters. Hopefully, no one watched it on Disney Plus, because as it was being released on Disney Plus, the BDS organization escalated their boycott of the Disney company to say, let's cancel, right? Let's cancel subscriptions. And with all of the things put together, right? The fact that we made such a massive influence on the Disney stonks. We made them lose so much money. We got Jimmy Kimmel back on the air. I think that's something important to remember, that you do have a lot of power here, specifically over companies, right? And how I think the Walt Disney Company should divest from Israel in a real way. A lot of companies have like headquarters and stuff in Israel. And I think it would be really cool if we kept this momentum up of, especially with the price increases. All signs, I think, are pointing towards, let's keep those Disney Plus subscriptions canceled. Let's keep those park reservations and cruise reservations canceled. I think they kind of need to be until Disney divests from the state of Israel. And I don't know. Specifically about like the character of Sabra, I don't know. That's a creative decision. This is much more talking about like the tangible side of the company and the way that they put their money. No, I don't want any cheap followers on Streamboo. Thank you very much. Nope, I don't want to. I just want to, yeah, there we go. Okay. So, that's that. I hope Disney makes the right choice here, and more than anything, I actually hope that because the Free Palestine movement has become so undeniable as a part of our humanity, and has become much popular over the last 8 months, right? Yes, it started 2 years ago in a big way with the current genocidal campaign, but, it's kind of sad to see that people only ever have resistance when a Republican is in office, but that's a kind of a discussion for a different day. But the last 8 months really have shown a lot of people don't like the state of Israel. And that's good, because that's the truth. That's a good conclusion to come to. Israel is not a good place, not a good country, not a good arm of the United States government, because that's what it is. So with all of our strength that we have now realized that we have, I hope people continue to keep their Disney Plus subscriptions canceled and can now shift gears after the pressure of getting Jimmy Kimmel back on the air, that they also use that pressure and use that newfound strength to do even more good, specifically divesting from Israel. Thank you. Divest from Israel tonight. Divest from Israel tonight, Queen. Divest from Israel. Divest from Israel now. Divest from Israel tonight. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. All right. Gonna end this section.